Hi, and welcome back to another episode of the History of Fan Anime. I'm your host, William Chow, and today's episode, I'm going to cover one of my favorite artists in anime, that is Akemi Takeda. Of course, no, that's not the only artist I'm going to cover in this particular episode, but that's the main one that I want to. And basically, everyone's sort of familiar with her artwork that she does in like Orange Road. Maybe she does all various things like Creamy Mommy, Pastel Pasha, and other works that she might have done, Carol, I think, things like that that you may be familiar with, but some things you're not maybe familiar with, and that's what I'm going to cover in this particular episode. And since we're on a gaming platform, I'm going to cover basically some of the gaming aspects that Akemi Takeda has done in her lifetime, and maybe hasn't really done a really profile of, because art books and that kind of stuff aren't really been made for this kind of stuff that she does. So let's begin. Okay, so as you know, that Kimagure does a whole bunch of different artwork, things like Orange Road and whatnot. And of course, I've got lots of that kind of stuff. She's got lots of Patlabor and things like that, and they've got art books and all that kind of stuff for that. But a lot of people don't know that she does a lot of other stuff for the game community, and basically a lot of video game stuff that she does. And in this episode, I want to go through some of the stuff that she has done, and maybe you don't know about. Okay, so. This is an example of some of the work that she does, okay? This is from a magazine called PC Engine Fan, okay? PC Engine Fan, of course, is a magazine designed for, the video game system, the PC Engine, okay? And she does various different covers and that kind of stuff for this particular artwork. And you can kind of tell that her art style kind of, is kind of halfway between a Noah kind of artwork, and sometimes she does a longer hair girl, which kind of has that sort of a Madoka feel. But that's some of the artwork that she does. Okay, and I've highlighted different articles in these magazines, just since I'm going through video game magazines at this time. What might be interesting, what might be kind of interesting. Okay, now in this particular issue, they cover a lot of things having to do with Seiyu, okay? And of course, Seiyu is being like, voice actors and that kind of stuff. Because the PC Engine magazine is, it is basically referred to as the, shall we say, the otaku favorite for video game consoles. So that means, they really focus a lot on anime type of games and that kind of stuff, okay? So, there's some very, very famous, singers, right in the middle, you may recognize right away, Megumi Hayashibara, okay? She does everything from Slayers, Evangelion, and she has, it probably is the number one selling Seiyu, CD artist out there in the Japanese market. Okay, so in this particular article, they're going over the voice character cast for a game called Advanced VG. Okay, so again, one of those all girl, fighting game made, type of show, animes. So kind of one of those cute things that they're going over in that one there. So the next book in the stack, okay, is this particular one here. Again, you can see that it has that nice sort of that the short-haired girl sort of theme that she uses. Have a closer look at it, but right there in this particular issue, you can see they actually have a special watercolor Kimagure, signature Kimagure picture, where it's her sitting on a bed with a cat. Of course, she loves cats. And this poster is available in this particular issue. Okay, so if you like that kind of artwork and you want to see something that you haven't seen before, there's a kind of a Noah-ish like the picture of her in that kind of thing in this particular magazine. Okay, now the article I've segmented out of this one is of course for a game that I'm currently playing on the mobile version, is Der Langrisser or Langrisser 2. Okay, so this is where again I got the first start in playing this particular game here. so you get to see all the different characters and that kind of stuff. That's it. That's what you need. And then again, the neat part about this game is, okay, again, remember at the beginning they ask you questions about what do you in order to build your character, they ask you questions. Well, what is the most important to you? Troops, strategy, or I don't need anybody else. I just need myself, right? Right at the very bottom here, it actually has the questions all laid out for you. So, you can, with the possible answers and that kind of stuff. So you always wonder, well, how did people know? Well, hey, here you go. This magazine tells you how you're supposed to, play the game, how you're supposed to answer the questions and that kind of stuff. And then of course, people always go, okay, well, what about upgrades and that kind of stuff for the characters? How does the character table work, right? And of course, count on this magazine to tell you, okay, here you go. This is how you level up your characters. One character class goes to the next character class, and then you can see how to best maximize your character stuff that's there. Okay. It outlines spell abilities and that kind of stuff over here on this side. So how many magic points and things like damage and whatnot you can see here at the bottom of this part of the page over here. Okay. So again, these magazines lay it out for you, so it's supposedly relatively easy to get through. Okay. Right down to the fact that here you go. They're telling you, okay, here's how you complete some of this, some of the maps, right? We can go through and draw you arrows and that kind of stuff on. Okay, this is the path you need to go, or this one here. You're doing a flanking action where you're basically sending your troops around two sides and you try to meet the guys in the middle type of thing, right? So it actually does tell you how to do this. And again, in the early days, these magazines were really, really important to us in order to be able to play these games, because there was no hints. You couldn't go to YouTube and watch some guy complete this particular level, right? Because that wasn't available. The stream services and that kind of stuff didn't exist, right? You just kind of had to go to these magazines, and hopefully the magazine would tell you, okay, I'm stuck on this level, give me a hand here, let me get the strategy on how to do this. And so that's why these magazines are extremely valuable for that. Okay. So here's another one. Okay. Kind of a fan sort of soccer thing. So this is obviously obviously promoting one of the one of the soccer FIFA games or whatever that's out there. Okay. So Akemi Takeda drawing a soccer girl. Okay. And I was talking about how important it is, these video game magazines telling you how to do stuff. Okay. So here's a very common example. Okay. So this is for Garou Densetsu 2. Okay. You know it as Fatal Fury 2. Okay. All right. And they have a really large article in this magazine on this particular game. So it actually quite detailed analysis of different screens and different characters and that kind of stuff. But what was really important, okay, at this time is this kind of information. Okay, so these 2 pages here are dedicated entirely for Terry Bogard. Okay. So this entire section down here is all his moves, okay? So all the special moves and that kind of stuff. And it tells you exactly what you need to do them. So for example, the very bottom one in the corner here, Power Gazer, okay? It's down, left, back, back, forward, and then, and then kick, and then punch, okay? So basically, it tells you the actual moves and the joystick movements that you're going to need in order to pull that move off. So again, if you don't know how to do it, this magazine will tell you how to do it. Okay, or you're trying to find ways to how to beat certain guys. Okay, so now that's what this part of the page on this side over here is. Okay, so when Terry is going against versus a certain type of character, this is your special technique in order to beat that special character. Okay, so you wonder why those guys are really good in the arcade. When you go there and you're getting your ass kicked, then you'll know why, because they're looking at these magazines and these FAQs or whatever, and they're going, haha, I know how to do this, haha. So next time they come up and they see you in the arcade, they're gonna go and kick your butt. Okay, so again, and they have this analysis for like all the various different, so they got Kim Kapan, they got they got they got all this other stuff, and they're all they go all in detail, and again they go through the exact same sort of detail for Andy Bogart, okay, and they go through. So again, whatever character you like to play with, these magazines are going to help you go through it. Okay, so definitely really nice artwork on it. That I really particularly enjoy, but that she does on these magazines here. And in this particular issue, again, more outline work for Langrisa FX. Okay, so this is the FX version of Der Langrisa, which is the PC Engine version of the PC Engine FX version of Der Langrisa again. Okay, so again, this one is one of the first ones that actually has real actual animation sequences in the game. Okay, there's the next issue. Okay, so this is the sort of the longer hair version of the girl that he usually draws. And again, in many ways, kind of resembles the way how he draws. I think it's sort of halfway between a Madoka and with a little bit of a pastel Yumi kind of look to it. Okay. And so in the big feature article, as written on the front here, is Cosmic Fantasy 4. Okay, so again, you flip ahead to the magazine here, the most recent release for Cosmic Fantasy 4 here. So big, huge, promo prep, pick thing for Cosmic Fantasy 4, and again, lots of and again, really focusing on the anime fan, right? This is the otaku's gaming console. Okay, they want people to to have that same sort of experience of going through, with the anime and that kind of stuff. Lots of details with, covering seiyus and that kind of stuff. Okay, and this is again. Here's the interesting part about this particular issue. Okay, just so you guys will, just because I know that I know my audience, so okay, so some game footage of the actual thing. Okay, now, take it to a magazine like this, okay, and of course an otaku magazine like this, okay. Here they are in this part here doing swimsuit analysis, okay. So obviously this is the extra rival character in Cosmic Fantasy 4, and they go right down to, well, look at the detail in the eyes. Well, okay, yeah, I'm sure you're not staring at her eyes. Well, unless the other eyes they're referring to is these eyes right here, and these aren't the ones on her head, okay? And of course, they're also making note of, well, the type of bikini she's wearing in comparison to Saya's, right? So yeah, okay. Very, very important detail. I'm sure that a lot of people are out there looking and wondering about this particular deal. Yes, this magazine will need to cover that particular topic. What a hot point there, right? Okay. This is an interesting variation of a Madoka picture, because she draws a very similar picture of Madoka sleeping, and here you go. She has a different sort of picture here, drawn for her. Okay. And there's a nice, I guess, a cold, wintry sort of scene there. Okay. I'll have to focus on things like that, the effects and that kind of stuff. Okay. There's the her kimono, winter festival type of outfit there that she's drawn. And the feature article in this one I marked off. Okay. As I said, Akemi Takeda is not only one of my favorite artists, but there are other artists, okay, that I like. And one of the ones that a lot of you guys are familiar with is the one for Langrisser, okay, Satoshi Ushihara. And just also note that yes, he also draws many artworks and that kind of stuff for video games and whatnot too. So here you go. This is his game that he made for the that he's done the character artwork and that kind of stuff for the PC Engine. Okay, and again, notice how they really focus on the voice actors who are playing these girls. Okay, so definitely different characters and that kind of stuff. Here's a very sort of a very nice sort of assortment of different character female characters in this particular game. Okay, and I do believe it's some sort of horror mystery game or something like that. But yeah, so again, his artwork is also available in video games as well. Okay, and this one here. Okay, so here's your fancy party dress version. Right here. Okay. Okay. And as I mentioned, again, for video games and that kind of stuff, again, very, very important to have these how to play sections. So this is the one for Raod Densetsu Special, which is Fatal Fury Special. Okay. You can see all the different commands and moves and that kind of stuff. Okay, so very, very detailed showing of how that's supposed to be done and whatnot. Okay. Okay, there's her in a seashell dress. Okay, sort of a spring vacation or summer vacation type of a picture there. Okay, here's another one here. In sort of casual wear there. Sort of shopping, I guess, that type of thing. I would think that kind of stuff. Okay, and I marked an article here. Yes. Okay, so another feature article on Langrisser. Okay. This is again Langrisser for the FX. Okay, and everyone always wonders, where's that iconic picture that's been more or less banned, that's on the Chinese server of Langrisser Mobile, but's been taken off the global version. Is the essentially butt view picture of Sherry here, and so you just so you know, that's where the picture comes from. It's from it's from the FX version of there, and it is an actual version. It's not no fanfic picture, but that's how they decided to draw her. So for all those people who are looking for waifu pictures of Sherry, there you go. That's you can tell that these guys have their priorities done straight. All right. So again, this is the Olympic picture for okay, so it's probably for some Olympics game or something like that. Okay. And again, just to show you that she not only does the cover, she also does the artwork for the video game itself. So this is a game called Dragon Slayer. Okay, and again, you can tell that she has that signature watercolor kind of artwork that she's really known for there, and that she does the artwork for this particular game, Dragon Slayer. Okay, and again, characters and stuff that she does in that particular game as well. Okay, here's Virgo in sort of the bicycle thing, the tour to Japan thing. Okay, sort of image. Okay. And here's one here. and a nice kimono dress with the the traditional red umbrella. Okay, and again a whole bunch of um, big a promo for the thing Power Dolls. Okay, so that was coming out at this time. So another one of these girls with mechs type of things. Really, really popular type show there. So yeah, Power Dolls. Yeah. Okay, and again, this is why a lot of people like this game console because of anime titles. Okay, so here you go. Galaxy Frontline Yuna for the FX. Okay, so again, they released a lot of basically anime games, for this particular console. Okay. Okay. All right, we got some more swimsuit issue kind of stuff here. Okay. And again, not only do they focus video games on stuff, whatnot for animes and that kind of stuff. One of the things that a lot of people don't know is that they actually released and put the manga for Cosmic Fantasy in this, in like a run of the PC Engine fan magazine. So again, for those people who really like the Cosmic Fantasy, they made a manga for it, and they actually printed a whole bunch of the issues for it in this particular magazine. Okay, so a lot of people who didn't get their start in it can get it through this magazine. Okay, this is one of the thicker later issues where they actually started giving a CD-ROM inside the book here. So again, here's another summer swimsuit issue. Okay, and this particular issue contains a special CD-ROM, which you can again stick in the computer and whatnot. But that's not what I marked this page for. Again, I marked it for the fact that this issue for the Durable Greaser FX, they actually printed the entire mapped catalog, the mapped level tree for Langrisser FX. So if you want to know what level leads to what level and what decisions that you make and where it goes and whatnot, it's all in this particular issue. And then you can follow the map and that kind of stuff. And on that, also on this side, different things that you should note on this particular level, magic and all that kind of stuff is all they're written into a table over here. Okay, so this is definitely a really super reference thing here. Okay. They also go through all the equipment and that kind of stuff here. So again, if you are curious about what everything does and where the bonuses and that kind of stuff and where it comes from, this table goes over all of it. So you can see this is a very, very important, very, very key sort of reference thing that these magazines put out. And then let's see, this is in a time where there isn't going to be a website available for you to go and look at. I mean, Wikipedia doesn't exist. Google doesn't exist the way it does. So, and of course, you can't go to the Messiah website or even the PC Engine fan website probably doesn't even exist, right? So there's no way to get this information except by buying a magazine like this, and then you can see what you're supposed to be able to do inside this magazine. So again, in the early years, when this magazine came out, which is you can see August 1994. Okay, so this is even before Windows 95 came out. So there's no way you would have been able to browse the internet to find this information. You just couldn't do it. I mean, maybe on Usenet you can maybe some guy had maybe typed it in and put it into a small little Word document or a little table, possibly. But otherwise, yeah, I mean, it's the person would still have to translate the information off the table and the whole bit, right? And so, when you're getting the game and you're playing the game, and you need that information like now, then this magazine is like gold, okay? I can't emphasize that. A lot nowadays people don't buy magazines, they don't care. They think newspapers are useless or whatever. That's fine. But you realize that if you took away the internet and the way it was, okay, because you remember, we're thinking 1994, so again, you can kind of imagine what kind of interface you had back in Windows 95. If you didn't have all that kind of information, how would you get the information on how to play the game the way you do? Okay, if you get stuck somewhere, you want to know how to level up things or whatever. You're trying to figure out how to go which level and what direction you want to do. You really need these magazines to help you through. Okay. Akemi Takeda also did some artwork and that kind of stuff for other magazines, okay? Not just PC Engine Fan magazine. PC Engine Fan, she did a lot of the front covers and that kind of stuff. But she also did stuff for a magazine called Dragon Magazine. Now, Dragon Magazine is mostly for, fantasy gaming and that kind of stuff, okay? It's not necessarily a video game magazine, but more of a I guess the Japanese version of the the English quote, Dungeons and Dragons magazine, Dragon. Okay. So here's an example of the magazine here. Okay. All right, and again, it has her very, very, very recognizable, almost Madoka-like picture of a character. Okay. This is I guess this is Dragon magazine. All right. And the picture that she draws, or the thing that she does in this particular magazine, is a version of the novel, or a variation of the novel, Equus. Okay, now that's the story about the horse and all that other kind of stuff, right? So yeah, she does the character illustrations for this particular story. Okay, so if you flip ahead, okay. That's her basically, characterization of the characters for Equus. Okay, and you can see she's the she's the character illustrator designer for that particular thing, as well as the actual authors right there. Okay, her very customary, very, very nice watercolor like pictures and that kind of stuff. Even a little bit of spiciness added there. But very, very nice kind of, if no one told you that anything, that you'd say that would be it looks just like Madoka, right? In a very very close way. Okay. So again, there you go. There's more of her animated art work for that. Again, you have to realize that this was never made into an anime. This is just a Japanese adaptation of the of that sort of smooth story. Okay. So again, more of that really, really nice, pastel painting like artwork that she is very famous for, being applied to this particular novel. Okay. And again, a lot of you people who are Akemi Takeda fans are not familiar with this, because a lot of this stuff is not printed in a book or in an art book or anything like that for this particular thing, because they said which is too bad, because this is really, really nice material. Okay, so let me just go back to go into the actual part of the book here. Okay, so right here, further into the book. Okay, so this is the actual novel part, or the written part of the actual article here. So you can see that she does their different sort of painting, that kind of stuff. Wish that one was in color, of course, but that just happens to be one of her the one of the composite pictures that she probably drew in color, but then they only ended up printing it in black and white. Okay, so they have a story section here. Okay, sort of play your own story, or sort of adventure games kind of story here, called Sword World. Okay, it's the Sword World RPG, sort of playing story. And the neat thing is okay, you read it like a regular story and that kind of stuff. But the cool thing about it, okay, which is really a little different, is this book actually makes D&D character sheets for you for this particular thing. Okay, so you can see that they actually have the characters or whatever that are in the story. They wrote them out into D&D sheets for you. So all right now right down to the hit points and all that kind of stuff for you, so that you can actually go and you can read through the story as you do different things and whatnot. Okay, so you can see your character and that kind of stuff is right here in this corner here. Okay, and that's what the player, the NPC or the character that you are there, and then of course there's different artwork and that kind of stuff of you in the story as you're playing, or as you're basically reading and going through the story of that there. Okay, so that's one of the things that that's kind of neat about this kind of story and whatnot. So it's really kind of cool. But yeah, so this is Dragon Magazine. Okay, now not every issue does she actually have a picture on the front cover, obviously. Here's one where it's kind of a mixed one, so she does one of the characters for her Equus is on this part of the page here. Okay, and so again, nice feature article of Equus here. Again, I love this artwork. I mean, it's just totally beautiful soft lines and that kind of stuff on there. Really, really great detail and that kind of stuff. For that, all of that sort of painting, almost watercolor like, scripting that she loves to do. And then what's really neat about this one, it's kind of cool, is there's a set, or she started making a set of tarot cards, okay, for Equus, with the artwork from Akemi Takeda. Okay, so again, she starts going through and building different characters and that kind of stuff, and adding them as tarot cards. Okay, not that you'd actually sit here and cut any of these things out of this book or whatever and make them into whatever thing. And of course, I didn't even collect. See, I didn't really follow this particular magazine, but yeah, there's. Okay, just. Okay. Just wonderful artwork on this. It's just I love how she does the soft lines and that kind of stuff on this. Terrific work on that. Excellent stuff. Okay. And then again, to the actual novel part of the book here. Okay. So again, you can see obviously another picture that probably was color at one time, but then they decided, we're only gonna print the regular version, black and white version, and of course the regular text from the actual okay. And again, this particular one of the artists that came into note for one of the illustrations that he does is for this novel series here. Okay, this is Haruki Mikimoto. Okay, well known for Macross and Orgus and whatnot. He does this the illustrations and artwork for this particular series called the Blood of the Mutholes. Okay, and you can tell the artwork itself almost looks like Marionette Generation. Okay, which is another thing, one of his stuff that he does. So I mean, literally, it's the same character. It looks like So what you want to do is you want to go down below and click like and click subscribe, and then we'll get more videos showing different things from the golden era of anime and how we got anime the way that we have it today. Okay? So, until next time, see you again.